Okay. Hi guys, so I wanted to do, a little follow-up video on my hair journey and where I'm at now. I'm in 11 months being natural and about a year and 5 months since I had a relaxer, so I'm almost at a year and a half without a relaxer. And when I started this whole process, I started it this time more so for myself and, my hair and what I wanted to do with it, as I've done in the past. But like I said in my first hair journey video, I was really swayed by the lack of support from other people when it came to my hair and comments that they made, and I ended up relaxing my hair again. I started this particular journey, more confident in the direction I wanted my hair to go. And now, like I said, I'm on month number 11 since I kind of chopped off the rest of the relaxer. And I've just noticed just over the past month or so, how my journey has like inspired other people, especially people in my everyday life. Like I said, I don't have a huge YouTube following or whatever, but definitely in my everyday life I see the inspirations there. When I first started the school year, because I am a preschool teacher, our program is housed inside of a middle school, so I'm a full-time preschool teacher, and then some afternoons I do tutoring for the middle schoolers upstairs. So my district that I work and live in is pretty much not that many black people, and especially as far as teaching staff, there's not many people who look like myself, and when I mean looking like me, there's a few of us, who are mixed with other things, but as far as being the kinky hair person and the darker complected person, I would fall into more of that line. So when I started the school year, because I decided to do the big chop on my hair the last day of the school year, because I wanted to start a fresh, clean, new look for the upcoming school year. And I figured that was a good time for me over the summer to kind of get a handle of how to style my hair and do different things with my hair and experiment with a lot of products and stuff. So by the time the school year started, I had a little bit more experience than I had prior to this, and more prior knowledge, because I found YouTube videos that kind of really helped me along the way with some products that I tried, some that went well, some that didn't. And also, one of my friends, she's in the natural process too. She started maybe a year before me, doing as far as letting her hair be completely natural. So I have support there, as well as one of my co-workers. Like I said, I think she will fall more into like a mixed category, but her hair is not a 4C type. So when we started the school year, we only had one little brown girl in our particular classroom, and within a month or two, because she came sort of later in the year, within a month or two of her coming, her mom came up to me one day. I had my hair with a braid across the front and a fro in the back, and actually, I noticed that a lot of times when I think I'm having like the worst hair day, that's when I get the most compliments. I don't know why that is so, but I never forget. So I had braided my hair, I just did a quick braid and I just left it out in the back because I really wasn't feeling my fro. And we came back to work the next day or whatever, and her mom approached me and said that her daughter wanted to wear her hair like Miss Robinson. And when I looked at her hair, she had the braid going across the front and a puff in the back. So that kind of made my heart melt a little, because it is a tough journey to go through this process. And so every time I would change up my hair a different way, whether I did my twist outs or my braid outs or whatever, a couple days later, she would come in, she was like, oh yeah, she wanted to wear her hair like Miss Robinson again. Now in my hair journey, I talked about starting this process also a couple years ago, and like I said earlier, I relaxed my hair in 2011 after I started the process of being natural. And so during that time when I was in the transition phase, I had tried a braid out on my hair. And working in preschool, those children can be very honest with you, especially because they may have not experienced certain things and they don't know. So that's always a teachable moment. So I had decided, to do a braid out on my transitioning hair, and I came in with it, and the little boy came in, Caucasian student. He came in and he was so like shocked and so like could not stop laughing. I'm like, what's wrong? He was like, oh my gosh, look at your hair. And I'm like, what's wrong with my hair? And he was like, it looks like that. And I'm like, well, this is how my hair is. And it became a teachable moment for me. And I have, as a teacher, we have these moments all the time with our children, because we are constantly, in preschool especially, teaching those socialization skills and teaching about differences, whether it's race, whether it's about abilities, because I also work, my preschool classroom is also an inclusive classroom, so we have children with varying abilities, whether they don't talk or they may have a deformity or some kind, or whether a kid may have to have a one-to-one person working with them all the time. So there's always plenty of opportunities that I have these teachable moments with kids, talking about differences, and that's the beauty of preschool, and getting those skills in there earlier. And so that was just one of the moments that stuck out in my mind with that little boy, because he wanted to know what was going on with my hair. And so that was part of the reason why I decided to do my chop at the end of the school year this time last year, and go in with my hair fully natural, so that the kids can see me, especially for some of the kids that, most times we get brand new students every year. There's only a few that may come back into our classroom, because my classroom is actually a half-day program, so a lot of parents want full day. So I wanted to start off with them seeing my hair as it was, and it actually worked out really well. So they're not surprised when they see me with two braids going around, or one braid going around, or if I wear my braid outs or my twist outs or whatever, because they realize that my hair is different from theirs, and I really didn't get the questions like that this year, except for a couple days ago. I did have a twist out going, and I talked about in my videos that I kind of rush in the morning sometimes, taking out my twists and trying to style my hair, and I was putting hairpins in my hair, and I had twists that I had taken out, loose twists I had taken out, and there was one stray twist that was kind of like sticking up. And one of the kids, he did come up to me, a little black boy, and he said, he looked at my hair, he was like, why is your hair up? And I said, well, sometimes my hair want to go up. And then I looked in the mirror, I was like, yeah, that one little stray piece is kind of sticking up, but he was asking questions. So I do like the fact that I do have those moments where I can educate children, and also be an inspiration for the little brown girls that are in my classroom, because after that little girl, she's in the AM class, then as the year went on, the other little girl mother came to me, and she said the same thing. I had wore my hair parted down the middle with the two braids going around, and just so happened her daughter came in with her hair like that, and she was like, oh, you guys have the same hairstyle. And I was like, yeah, I noticed that. And then a couple days later, she was like, yeah, she likes to wear her hair like Miss Robinson. And we just had a parent-teacher conference with her today, and that was one of the things. She was like, she loves coming to school, and she loves you guys, and she always want to wear her hair like Miss Robinson, because it was so funny, because I had not realized this until she told me this within the past 2 weeks. So one Friday, she came in with a headband on, and she had her fro, and everybody was loving her hair. Of course, I was, complimenting her on her hair and everything. And later that afternoon, when her mom picked her up, is when that was the first time her mom had informed me that she wanted to wear her hair like mine. That's why she had the afro. So I feel really inspired by them, that they are actually feeling comfortable. Those little girls are feeling comfortable, because I know sometimes, you know, I've worked in preschool since, the past 7 or 8 years, and a lot of times, we have the baby dolls in the kitchen, and the little girls want to comb the doll's hair, that's silky, or they like that, that silky hair, whatever. So you see that some children have the biases, just based on experiences, where they just think that, oh, I want my hair like yours, or whatever. Even growing up, me being in preschool and kindergarten, I can remember some of the little brown girls would say, oh, I wish I had good hair. We all heard that. Or, I like the baby doll with the good hair. I don't want the nappy doll head, the nappy headed doll. So seeing that now we've changed a lot, and there's so many people, women, black women, who are representing our natural hair, it does make you feel good. Now, people talk about natural hair now, and there's like, well, Puerto Ricans have natural hair, Caucasians have natural hair, if they're not if they're not perming their hair, or they're not putting any chemicals in it, then they are natural. Well, the natural that we as Afro textured hair types are talking about is the Afro textured type of hair. That's what we consider our natural hair, so so I'll, hear people comment like, yeah, I like natural hair, I just don't like it when it doesn't look combed or kept. And I'm like, well, that just means that person doesn't know how to comb or keep their hair. Now, if you are saying that if I wear my hair in an afro that looks like my hair is not kept or combed, then you are the one that's ignorant. And like I say, sometimes to me, to go back to another point, is that when I feel like I'm having my worst hair day, that's when I get the most compliments. So that day when the little girl came in with her afro, I had been wearing my hair in an afro, and I had really felt like that was, one of those days where I just kind of like got out of bed, picked out my hair, put some shea butter in it, and just picked out my hair. And it was very funny, because when I went to the door for the parents to sign their children out, she was in a conversation. The little girl's mom was having a conversation with another black mother who has one child, the male child, in our classroom, and her female daughter is in another classroom. And I could hear the conversation of them talking about hair, and the one who's not in my classroom was saying, well, my daughter, she could never wear her hair like that, because you got to be on top of that hair, you got to like put stuff in it and all this kind of stuff. And which, of course, that much is true. But to feel like that it has to look a certain way, or it has to, be a certain way, is not necessarily true, because, sometimes I comb my hair and it may not look like it was combed. I don't know, but that particular day, like I said, I just felt like I wasn't having a good hair day. And, that's when she told me. I had been wearing my hair for afro for a couple of days. It was just, the fact that I was just like, oh, I'll just put a headband on and pick it out or whatever. And, she comes and tells me that her daughter wanted her to wear her hair like mine. And like I said, and today she made the comment again. So, I told her, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that, she likes coming to school, and that she, really wants to wear her hair like mine. I love the fact that, I am setting that example for the little brown girls who are in my program, even for some of the ones who are in my Charger Club that I do tutoring with, the same thing as well. Because I noticed that, it was kind of tricky in the beginning, because my hair was shorter. And as I have, sometimes I stretch out my fro, and so sometimes it's really big, and it's really, the twist outs are, kind of long or whatever. So like some of the girls from the Charger Club, would say, "Oh my God, Miss Robinson, I love your hair. I want my hair like that." So, you know, um, you know, some people, for them, it's a length thing. My cousin, who's also doing a natural thing, she went back and she put braids in her hair because she was like, I can't deal with the little short afro right now. I don't know what to do with it, and I'm tired of the hairstyles. So, and I also have a coworker who's also, natural. Now, we have different backgrounds, where she's more of a mixed, race, and I just consider myself American Black, African American, or whatever. Um, and we have different hair textures. So, early on in the year, we talked about this whole natural thing. We kind of like did the whole transition process a little bit together. So we started off the year pretty much, with our natural hair. Most of the time, I don't know if she flat irons her hair anymore, but sometimes she would flat iron her hair, whatever. But early on in the year, when the first little brown girl was, and her mom was commenting about how she wanted to wear her hair like mine, the other coworker made a comment like, "Oh, well, I have my natural hair too." Because this one particular day we were sitting at the art table coloring, and the little girl, kind of looked up and said, "Miss Robinson, you and I have the same type of hair." And I was like, "Oh yeah, we both got the puffs, And the coworker who was also wearing her puff was like, "Well, I have an Afro puff too." And we kind of like jokingly, well, she was like, "I feel kind of slighted here," whereas I was feeling kind of inspired in a sense. Not to say like this person is better or this one is better, but it was just the fact that based on textures, the little girl hair was closer to my texture than hers, and she differentiated that. So and like I said, a lot of the parents, they come up to me and say, but to point out the fact that I am also more apt to experiment more with my hair, with different hairstyles, where I do the braids, whereas my coworker, she's like, "Oh, I don't know how to braid hair." So I'll do the two braids going around the side, and I'll wear that for a whole week. Or I'll do the braid across the front with the afro out. I'll stretch my afro. I'll do twists in my hair. Even the past couple weeks, I've been experimenting with wearing the loose twists, where I just, twist my hair in smaller sections and just put it back in a rubber, elastic band. And my hair is pretty short. I wore that hairstyle to a parade. Like I said, one of my friends, she's also natural, and I wore that hairstyle to the parade, and she was like, "Oh, I really like that," and so I'm more apt to experiment with different styles. So that could be why, also, that the parents are saying, "Oh, or why the children are saying, 'Oh, Miss Robinson, I want to wear my hair like Miss Robinson,' because it's always something different." For the most part, sometimes, because sometimes I do get stuck in particular hairstyles. I like, braid outs and my afro and just the two braids, because it's really simple to do in the morning, and I don't have to put a lot of thought behind it. It takes some getting used to, but for the most part, I'm really happy that, for me, as one of the only 4C naturals in my building, probably out of the whole district, because like I said, there are not many teachers or staff members that look like me in the district. So it's really good that I can be an inspiration to them as far as with their natural hair. And I'm happy to do it. Like I say, this is a challenge for me sometimes, to keep my hair done, or keep my hair looking nice or whatever, to what I want to look like. But anyway, so I will talk to you guys later. As always, thanks for watching. Bye.